Hey guys, Ryan here from The Way We Hunt. Thanks for stopping by. Today's another recipe video. It's gonna be kind of a down and dirty recipe. Doesn't take a lot of ingredients, but it is twice smoked venison potatoes. So just think twice baked potatoes, but smoked on our Rectech, and then you're gonna add some wild game to it. You don't have to use venison. You could probably use anything you wanted. But we have 2 Axis tenderloins that we're gonna put in there. I just made this recipe for a bunch of friends. They absolutely loved it. I completely made it up. All the ingredients I made up, didn't measure anything. Everybody seemed to enjoy it, so we thought we would bring it to you. So literally all you're gonna need are, now keep in mind, I'm only doing 2 potatoes. The other day I did 10, and I made basically 20 halves. I was cooking for 17 people. So we're only gonna do 2. You're gonna need some chopped up green onions or scallions, however you wanna get them, sour cream, minced garlic, some sort of, and you don't have to use any rub. We're using Ben's heifer dust from Rectech. It's gonna go on the tenderloins. You're gonna need some cheese, some butter, and then some sort of oil to put on the potatoes. We're actually gonna use bear fat from our Oregon bear. So you could use probably canola oil. Does a really good job for crisping up the skin. I used bear fat the other day and it was fantastic. So first off, you're gonna take your potatoes, you're gonna coat them in oil, you're gonna put them on a smoker for 2 hours at 225 or 230. I did it at 230 the other day and it was perfectly fine. Basically, you're just gonna smoke it for 2 hours, and the way you're gonna check it is just take a fork, stick it in the potato after 2 hours, and if it's easy to push in, then they're done. At the same time, 1 hour into it, we're gonna put our tenderloins on with the potatoes. We're gonna put Ben's heifer dust on them, let those smoke for 1 hour. I say an hour. We're gonna let them smoke till they get to about 130-ish degrees, so medium rare. So first things first, get my knife out of the way. This is a real simple recipe. It doesn't take much. You can actually do this probably a day or 2 ahead of time, this beginning part, and store them in your fridge afterwards, and all you'd have to do is reheat them. I think these are probably gonna be on the menu this year for either Christmas or Thanksgiving, or maybe both, because they were very, very, very good. All right, so potatoes have been oiled up, and out to the Rectech we go. All right, so we're out here at our Rectech Bullseye. I'm just doing the Bullseye today because the 1250 is just a little bit much for 2 potatoes. So it's already running, got it set on low, on the smoke setting. Just gonna throw them on there, shut her down. So right now it's at 200. I'm gonna bump it up to 225. I'm gonna roll it at 225 for about 2 hours. We'll see you then. All right, so it has been 1 hour, and we're, like I said, smoking the potatoes at 225. I have the 2 Axis tenderloins in here. All I did is take the Rectech heifer dust, Ben's heifer dust, sprinkled over them, patted them nice and dry, and then just stuck them in the fridge for an hour and let that seasoning just kind of sit on the meat, and we're gonna throw it on now. Potatoes are looking fantastic. We're gonna keep a pretty close eye on these, temperature probe, because I don't want to overcook these. All right, we will see you guys again in about an hour-ish. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes. And the tenderloins are done. Actually a little overdone, but I'm just gonna pull those off. They look amazing though. I'm gonna wrap those and let them rest. I'm gonna test these potatoes. We're gonna go another 15 or 20 minutes on the potatoes. All right, I just checked them. I'll show you guys kind of what we're looking for here. It's been exactly 1 hour, and this fork just very easily goes in exactly what we need. So these are done for now. Just gonna pull them off, shut the bullseye, and I'm gonna turn this down to low just to keep it warm, because we're gonna come back here once we get everything mixed in and throw them back on here. So let's go to the kitchen. Well, clearly you can see the potatoes are cut in half. You know, it's hard to get help these days, and the cameraman may or may not have pushed the button. But while we're here and rolling, I'm gonna move those off to the side. The potatoes are cooling right now. They are insanely hot to the touch, but, thank you, Issa, for drinking water while we're filming. We'll wait for her. All right. So here's where you can do this any way you want, really. So just because I've made this twice now, I like to cut my backstrap or tenderloin or whatever I'm using in small pieces. You know, just so think about this the same way as you would like a loaded baked potato with bacon, except you're subbing wild game in for the bacon. So little less than 1/4 inch slices, 1/8 inch slices, and you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going in a freaking potato that you're gonna have a bunch of sour cream and butter and garlic with and cheese. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. But once I slice it thin, I like to go back through and give it kind of another coarse chop, a coarse slice, I guess. I just don't want like an entire chunk of meat with every bite of potato. I kind of want it scrambled in there a little bit. And if you use backstrap or tenderloin, or however you do it, it is insanely tender and very easy to cut. So, there we go. Now I'm gonna put this back in the foil. It's got some juice in there, and we're just gonna let it sit. All right, so it's probably, I don't know, been 15, 20 minutes. So this recipe really doesn't take very long. We're just sighting in Emily's bow. It is the bow season in Oklahoma for deer, so we're going back and forth between cooking, filming, and shooting bows in the backyard. So they're nice and cool, not cool, they're still warm, but all I'm gonna do is take a spoon and carve out the inside, trying to be careful not to damage the outside hull because we're gonna reuse it. So I like to just leave a little bit in there and throw it on the cutting board. This helps it maintain its shape. It gives it some structure to go against. You gotta be careful, don't let it cool down as much as I did. It'll start to kind of toughen up on you a little bit. It's not bad. I mean, still doable. I'm just trying. It's a lot easier when they're like almost too hot to handle. A little bit easier, but still doable. I just rip that skin a little bit, it'll be okay. You get the gist here. And as soon as we're done here, we're gonna add the ingredients. So you can stop for a second. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of make sure these are all mashed up. There's a couple little chunks in there because I let it cool a little bit too long. That's okay though. You don't have to do that part if you like big chunks of potato in there, which I actually do, then you'll be fine. And our cat is being a jerk right now because we're trying to film. Anyway. All right, so now is where you can just kind of do what you want. So this is two full potatoes. I usually do about 3 or 4 tablespoons per potato of butter. That sounds like a lot, but once you got everything else in there, mix it up, it kind of evens out pretty good. This is not a healthy recipe, FYI. So I got softened butter in there. I'll give that a quick stir. Take some sour cream, and I'm gonna go, there's 2, so we're gonna go about 6 tablespoons-ish. And you want to use your softened butter. Obviously, you're not gonna let your sour cream sit out. But if you put just really cold butter in there, it tends to just cool things down way too much, in my opinion anyway. All right, I'm gonna take 1 handful of shredded cheese, otherwise known as sprinkled cheese in my circles. We're gonna do 1 big good handful. I'm gonna mix that in and kind of see where we're at. And I'm gonna go a skosh more, not quite a handful, just a little sprinkle. All right, and then I'm gonna start adding our Axis tenderloin that we chopped up earlier. one handful at a time. Oh, definitely more than that. I don't know, we might go ahead and use all this. No, I think that's gonna be good right there. All right, I've got about that much green onions. And then I'm gonna go a nice couple healthy tablespoons of minced garlic. You know, another idea you could do is actually roast that garlic in a pan or toast it before you did that. That would kind of give it a nice flavor profile. But all right, so it's this simple. Literally take your potato skin, your half, spoon back in. If I can do this without destroying the oven in the kitchen, it'll be phenomenal. You have to press it down in there so it gets all the way down the bottom. Give yourself a little extra on top. There you go. Twice smoked, well, once smoked so far. Venison potato. Anyway, I'm gonna get these other three knocked out and we're gonna go back on the Rectech on low smoke, which is about 215, 20 degrees, something like that on our bullseye. And we're gonna go until everything else is melted. Should be about 30 minutes. All right, so back here at the bullseye, on low. That's where you gotta have to kind of get creative with your Tetris skills, get them to sit right sometimes. Just like that. Now we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go until these are just about done. And then we're gonna add a little bit more sprinkle cheese on top. Remember, sprinkle cheese, not shredded sprinkle cheese. Add a little more sprinkle cheese on top. Garnish with a little bit more Ben's heifer dust. Serve it. See you guys in a minute. All right, so it's been about 45-ish minutes. Let's take a look at them. So also fun fact, is you're adding a bunch of new stuff, I just like mix it all in the bowl. The stuff that doesn't fit back in the potato. I had a little blowout on this one, that was my fault. I ripped the skin. They look absolutely perfect. I don't know why I grabbed the tongs, so I'm just gonna use my hands. That, my friend, should be illegal. And the tenderloin is beyond tender. Holy, wow. All right. We're taking them inside, let them cool, dig into them. All right, so they've cooled like 5 minutes, maybe not even that. We took some pictures. We're still sighting in bows, so I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and help finish off this one right here. And, oh, gotta get the skin. Make these, please make these for other people, yourself included. But if someone's on the fence about eating wild game, and or you just have extra wild game laying around, you don't know what to do with it, make these. I promise you, they are so good. They're illegal, they're so good. Perfect for holidays, perfect for just whatever. They're very hearty though. It's like an entire meal per potato. Lots of calories, very calorie dense, I get that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing if you haven't, or if you haven't, please hit that little subscribe button down there, hit the bell to be notified when we put up new recipes. Thanks for watching, guys, and we are out of here.